Gee, Lisa, we could sure use some help around here. Don't I know it, Josh? Pa just can't find anyone good to help out. Man, them Moreland kids are always helping out Mr. Moreland over there. Maybe they would like to come and help us. That's a great idea, Josh. We can call it Camp Western and tell them they can explore fir grove. But we should make it a little harder for them. You know, it's real easy over there at Moreland Summer Camp. We should do something. Well, I've got an idea. Wolves! Why don't we populate the area with wolves? And we got those bears, too. Guys, wouldn't that negate the entire purpose of exploring fir grove? Hello, my lovelies. I'm Ginny O, the author with no last name, and today I want to talk about Camp Western. I do apologize for my voice acting skills. Now, I know this event has been a little divisive, so this is just an opinion video. This is my opinion about Camp Western, and what type of animation was that? To me, my emotions have been kind of mixed about this. So I am extremely apathetic about it, which means I'm not doing very much. I am completely baffled by what's going on and why they thought this was a good idea to execute in this fashion, and I am pissed. I am pissed because they have completely messed up my wolves, and I love wolves. Both of my published series have werewolves in them. I love wolves. Let's just put it that way. So we are going to try to cover everything because I feel this event is very lazy, very repetitive, and thus very boring. And I can't imagine being someone who spent a month grinding rainbow gold with Chan to try to get an outfit through random number generation, and then coming to this event and finding the exact same mini game to grind for yet another month. So if you did that, I really hope you liked that minigame because I just can't imagine how upset and bored and frustrated I would be if that was the case. So, let's first talk about how lazy and repetitive this event is before we touch the fact that it is not at all Western. This event has absolutely next to no new mechanics to it. Every single mechanic outside the new lunging, and I'm going to try to do that as well, talk about that, is something from somewhere else in the game. Even the wolves lunging at you and chasing you around is from somewhere else in the game. Riding around in circles to teach the foal, that's from druid training. Shearing the sheep, there's a daily for that. Herding these poor horses, there's a daily for that. There's all these like little fetch quests. There's nothing here that's, interesting to keep people wanting to get on and play. Like, that would keep anybody kind of remotely entertained. entertained. It's just, and this whole wolf thing, guys, stay back here. This is the irresponsible bull keeping of Carl Peterson. There's nothing new, there's nothing interesting, and this kind of segues into the fact that there's nothing Western either. There is nothing Western about this event. In fact, all of my Western friends, are pissed. I mean, pissed. This is, I know they want to put in some sort of Western representation for the Western writers, and I don't know why they chose to do this in this fashion, because this is absolutely baffling to me. And they have every right to be angry, because this event does not represent Western writing at all. It's just awful. Like, they added in lunging, and lunging is not actually a Western discipline. Lunging, Western writers might do it, but it's actually more an English writing discipline, not a Western writing discipline. And so this whole event that they're this whole new mechanic that they're trying out in this new event isn't even a Western mechanic. So why am I also, and I understand them being pissed. This is just, it's crazy that they did not go full in with the Western. Not even the clothes are Western clothes. We've got a 15 button-down shirt with a string tie, and that's the closest you can get, but it's just recolors of things already in a store, which means as recolors, they should be in a permanent or the global store. They should not be event clothes. If Lisa Peterson needs t-shirts and jeans to sell, they should open up a Lisa Peterson store and let her do that. All the time, instead of trying to make it an in-game event. I'm gonna try to, no, excuse me, I don't want to be hit by the bull. This is such irresponsible bull keeping. Oh my god. So, there is no roping. There is no special Western events, there's no Western Gymkhana events. The Gymkhana is your pole bending, some Western equitation, and barrel riding. There's no mechanical bull for us to ride. There's no trying out bronco riding with the upcoming Mustangs for next month. That's a sneak peek. There is no trail ride with Josh, because, we're kind of... Why did they put the shovel right behind him? Their hitboxes are ludicrously awful as it is. There's nothing Western about this event. There's no chili, there's no sourdough, there's no s'mores, there's no buffalo, there's no longhorns and pronghorns, there's no gophers. Come on, I want gophers near the sandpit. That would be really cute. There's no jackalope. There's no rabbits. There's no cow dogs, or cattle dogs, depending on what you want to call them. And there's no corgis even. Corgis are little cattle dogs. It feels like a whole wasted opportunity to do something really Western, to do something really great, a little bit out of the box, a herd of buffaloes, or, some pronghorns bouncing about in Fir Grove going, what are all these trees? That type of thing. And they completely botched it. It's not, there's no Western events, there's nothing special or Western about this. I'm just honestly baffled, and I am very sympathetic to my Western friends who are going, this is not Western, I am so mad, you know, this is just us working for the Petersons. Alright, so are we ready to lunge the horse? Yes, let's lunge the horse. As you can see, I'm using Tomb Hub because I am not buying a new horse for this event. I refuse. My next horse purchase is in September, which is Galaxy, because I missed it when it was on sale. So he's just going to have to wait. So I am using Tomb Hub for this. So the one thing about lunging in this game is that if your animations are remotely off, you're going to see it. And he is like a rubber band. I'm going to tell you that. He is just like a rubber band. Now, this is an awful, oh, Jesus Christ. It's an awful little window there, because that window does not tell you anything about how to actually do the event. So they need to, when they put this into the game full time, they need to have a tutorial for this thing. So they can tell you W and S changes the circles and A and D changes the gate. This is not that difficult. I don't know why they can't seem to do this. So here we are. We need to go at a trot. Otherwise, I don't really have that much of a problem with the lunging. The animations, you know, you're going to see every single defect in the animations across all of them. But otherwise, you know, I'm not using a low-level horse, so I don't know how much trouble, you know, the lower level horses are having with this. I am using a high level horse. I think the little hearts are cute type of thing. I'm not entirely certain. I like the fact that he loses focus as time goes on. It doesn't seem to be changing anything. But, you know, it's different. Some people are having problems with getting a little motion stick at the canter. I can understand that. So, like, this is great. Should it have been in a Western event? No. Are they going to have to put in more circle things so we can actually do this in other places? Yes. Should they get on that? Absolutely. Just as kind of like the dressage. You introduce it. Sure, it might need a little work, but you need to be putting it into your main game as soon as possible. That way, you know, people can actually do it. You know, so you have some more variety in what's going on. So, you know, not a lot of notes. Yay! So while we finish this, it's like, you have to do like 15 things, I think, or 16 upwards of that. So, what really pisses me off about this event is the wolves. Alright, and this is not a get good conversation here. Not with me. My favorite game is Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Okay? Or Band of Thieves, you know, Thieves in Time. Those games specifically have mechanics in them where you are sneaking up behind enemies, stealing from them, and then juggling them into the air and hiding in, you know, putting them under your hat into your hat space, you know, like camera space. So, please, don't tell me it's about, well, you need to get good. Star Stable has a real problem differentiating between challenge and frustration. The wolves are frustrating. I would dearly love to know how many people were actually using the Pandoria exploit, because I think that would be an interesting number to know, for no other reason than it's just, for the love of God, you know, you made this way too difficult. Like, but what makes me mad and I do mean mad, I know I don't sound mad, but I've had 2 weeks on this, is that when it comes to the foxes, foxes are cute, they're cuddly, we spend time learning about them. And then, when it comes to the wolves, oh, that's just somebody standing. When it comes to the wolves, we get this nonsense. They chase after us. They attack us. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're running around in groups of 3. Yes, they're going to come and attack us because we smell stinky like poop. Because wolves love that. That's a group of 4, for God's sakes. Because wolves love strong, smelly things. They just do it. So wolves are these evil enemy creatures, and instead of using this as a chance to educate people about wolves, they put them everywhere, all over the map, to the point where it is exceedingly dangerous. Okay, that bull being out is exceedingly dangerous. That also pisses me off as a country girl and as somebody who knows about ranching. You do not leave your bull out of the pen. That is beyond dangerous. So, this is dangerous. No wonder they're attacking us. They're starving. And we're running around through poop. And we're smelly. And of course, they want to smell us. And then they bite us and we end up back at the ranch. You don't want to be bit by wolves. Wolves have very strong jaws. They can, bite through rope very easily. They also can jump like 8 feet in the air if they're jumpers. And they like digging. So, there is a very easy solution to this, except it requires taking more time and making more story and treating your wolves like you treat the foxes, as an education opportunity, because wolves are very important parts of the ecosystem. So here's the thing. We have wolves everywhere, and they want us to explore fur growth. And then they put in these wolves, which makes it impossible to explore fur growth. But the wolves being, I don't know, anywhere from 50 to 100 in a very small area, I have not taken the time to count them because I am not that anal. So these wolves are so packed up on top of each other, they'd probably be killing each other. And brown bears and bears in general and wolves do not get along. So the wolves would be over there attacking the bears, and the bears would be killing the wolves, and it's just dangerous, okay? Having brown bears is also dangerous. They need to be changing them to black bears. Black bears at least aren't as dangerous as brown bears. If you, as long as you don't get between the bear and their cubs, you can actually watch black bears walk across the areas and they won't hurt you. Whereas brown bears, aka grizzly bears, are dangerous, and should not be as many of them where they are or anywhere near this event the way they are. So, there is a solution. Okay? So, wolf packs can, on average, have about 6 wolves each. And 8 if you want to include grandma and grandpa. Because in modern wolf science, wolf packs are families with siblings that squabbles. That means there's no alpha and beta here. There is mom and dad, the elder siblings, and sometimes grandma and grandpa. Okay, and the babies. And the babies I don't count towards the overall pack size until they're around 6 months to 9 months to a year old, because before then they stay at the den. And the cutie patooties of baby wolves, they love play, they love to howl in the middle of the day. They're just adorable. And the older siblings, there's usually at least one older sibling with the baby wolves if mom doesn't stay behind, because the wolves love babies so much they will fight over who gets to babysit. So if you want us to explore Fir Grove, okay, bring up my map. Let's put in 3 different groups of wolves. You can have, that means you get to have upwards of 24 wolves in the game, which would really decrease your lag time. So you have one group of wolves that is basically using the whole area around to the north of Starshine Ranch and to the south of the road as a area. And this would be one story-wise we would have to move because they're denning up in the Silverglade mine. But they're running around somewhere, and the rangers want pictures of them. The next one, the other one would be where they had that new wolf den now, where they put in north of the road, and they would be using everything north of the road up to Valedale, minus the Red String Trail here. Let's leave this as a safe space, or they could be using it. I don't know. I don't really care. But they would use the north of the Red String Trail and Fir Grove, or the north of the Fir Grove Road, that road, as their territory. And then you can put a third one over here on the western side of the Silverglade River in the Hollow Woods and have them denning at the base of a big tree. That's 24 wolves. And then the rangers would give us a story quest to go find these wolves, so we'd have to be very, very careful, because if we're not careful, the wolves will run away. Wolves will run away from human scents and horse scents, because they know horses are mean. And, yes, when a wolf and a horse go head-to-head, the wolf does not win, okay? Same with a wolf and a moose. The wolf does not win. So we would have to be very careful, go get some pictures, you know, count how many there are, whatever, and actually have to explore the area to find the wolves. Because right now what's going on is, instead of exploring the area, people are sharing basically lists of coordinates. Where are the keys? Where are the horses? You know, they aren't actually running around and exploring. They're just going precisely to, you know, they're opening their map, they're putting in a waypoint, and they're finding the best, safest route to that waypoint. That's all they're doing, okay? Give us a reason to go explore. Same with, you know, you could do the same thing with the bears. And then with the wolves inside of, that are currently in the Silverglade mine, we would have to trank them or calm them somehow, use some soul rider magic to put them to sleep or something, and take them to Mistfall to release them. Not where there's currently wolves, not down here. We would have to release them up here in the Redwoods area. You know, not in the treetop region, but in the Redwoods area. So in the middle area, not because there's already a pack in the lower area here around Mistfall and Dundle. So this would have to be in the Redwood Point area. Okay, that's all we have to do. Yes, I know it's a little bit more programming and a little bit more stories, but at least you won't make me grit my teeth with rage. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't really want to touch the whole thing with the sheep and the cattle, because cattle people and sheep people do not get along out west, so that's kind of one of those things I just don't want to talk about. But honestly, guys, I don't care about the whole get good issue. I don't care about, you know, next year thing. Next year will be better. I care about this year. And this year, if they wanted to do a Western event, and they really want to give Western riding representation to their players, and they wanted this to be a great fun event, and if you're having fun during this grindy, boring, repetitive event, go you, I guess. I have seen so many people who are just frustrated, who are upset, who don't, you know, who are just, this would think things would be so much better if, you know, they cut out half the wolves. I'm like, I don't know. It's just, this event has left a bad taste in a lot of players' mouths. You know, there are the players who are enjoying it, and they're allowed to enjoy it. But there are a lot of players, especially those who are Western adjacent, who are just completely frustrated and mad and over this type of half-arsed kind of representation and work being put into these events. If, you know, I could probably do an entire video about the fashion and how this is not actually Western fashion, and which has really upset a lot of Western people. This is Bohemian fashion, not Western fashion. There is a difference. And, you know, I could do a whole video on that alone. So, I don't know. You guys can tell me what you feel about the event below. Like I said, this is not a get good issue with me. If I really wanted to get good and spend all the time figuring out the aggro ranges of all these wolves, I really would. But I don't care to. Because they piss me off just by existing. And not being, you know, in 6 to 8 things, hunting for some pronghorns, leaving the babies back at home, and me having to actually go find them. You want me to explore? Actually make me go explore, okay? And this whole thing, doing it in this area with the really bad hitboxes, just drives me crazy. Okay, so, I don't have any lures. Oh, no, I do have a lure. Huh, I'll have to go find a horse and take it back. Anyway, thank you for listening. Take care. Bless. And I will see you in the next video.